All right, we're gonna check out these two videos. I was watching a lot of feedback from the JD Vance situation and him saying you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. I personally, I don't have any feelings towards JD Vance yet. I don't know enough about him. We do all know that he just came out of nowhere, sort of like Barack Obama, right? No one really knew who Barack Obama was until he started running for president. And I mean, he ran a decent campaign. I don't think he had the best interest of the American people. I don't think any of these people do, any of these leaders. They don't have the best interest for us. And the reason being is because, bro, if they're in power and we're not, if we're in power, they're not. It's like what Andrew Wilson said. I was listening to a podcast and he was saying that it's either you let the insane asylum run us or we run and take control of the insane asylum. In my words, I forget exactly what he said. But these two videos in particular, I like this guy. What's his name? Godfrey comedian. I think he's funny. I have nothing personal against him. I only listened to like maybe 10 seconds of what he had to say, but I already know where he stands when it comes to Donald Trump and the Republican Party at this point. And I want to hear what he has to say. So this is new for both of us because I was listening to a lot of other videos and the stupidity that was coming out of some of these people's mouths. It's just embarrassing. And there's some key points that I want to bring up. It may offend some people. I really don't give a shit. I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm here to just call out the obvious. And then the second video we're going to be watching is a response. I have no idea who this guy is, but the African Diaspora News Channel, 1 million subscribers or nearly 2 million subscribers. So, uh, I just want to hear them out and hear what they have to say. And I'm not trying to, this is not intended to beat down on anyone. I just want to hear what they have to say. As a Puerto Rican American, or however you want to say it, I'm American, but I am Puerto Rican. I do have black in me. I have black people in my family. My best friend is black. So, um, uh, yeah, let's get into this and hear what these people have to say because I have an interesting response that you may appreciate. So just hear me out. Let's not particularly of what they're saying, just in general. Let's hear them out.
Man, JD Vance, he never ceases to amaze me. This man marinates in mediocrity. The same dude whose fat round face was talking about Trump, eyeliner wearing mug. He said,
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
now
Okay. Why would that offend anyone?
we don't have to apologize for being white, and makes this look like, right? And it's geared towards black folks. That's coming at black people, man.
Yes, and again, I'm not trying to beat down on anyone here, but in this particular situation, yes, he's referring to black people because black people openly say stupid shit like that. You just go to TikTok, go to YouTube, go to the shorts. Black people say some pretty dumb shit, as well as white people, Hispanics. Everyone says dumb shit, but to act like there's not people out there of color in general, coming from anywhere, they do say that. They've said that hundreds and thousands of times that I've
know it is.
you
Listen,
can see
he
it.
brings up the
Yes.
Asian thing like,
And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college because we judge people based on who they are.
Asians don't have to think about their skin and be judged by who they are. Are you kidding me? You're going to
Where's
take
the
a Martin
lie?
Luther King philosophy when Martin Luther King said we don't want to be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. You actually culturally
Yes. Why not? Why not even reference Martin Luther King? He's being completely honest. I've witnessed and experienced a lot of this bullshit that he's talking about. So, it's just like this guy has a high IQ too. He's not stupid. And I just feel like he's playing stupid just to base his crowd up, like
appropriated for
it's
your
dishonest.
dumbass speech. Really? You thought you were really that cool? Because it's all Christian, nationalist, racist. You know what you are? You know what you are, man? You're like a Klan member that went vegan. That's what you are. You're the vegan version of a Klan member. You know, you're the plant-based clan member. Because all you talking is that you're just remixing racism, bro. You just don't want to say it. We gotta, these here are just ruining everything. We gotta be white and we can't let these take over. Why don't you just say that? And you're gonna throw.
What's ironic about that is that his wife is Indian, and like the Hodge twins were saying, he has a bunch of brown kids running around his living room. I don't see the racial part you're talking about. And I've said this in past videos. We don't have a race issue in this country, and that's obvious, right? If he would have married a blonde woman to keep the genes pumping, but in this case, now he has brown children. We have a class issue. We don't have a race issue. And I really wish people would just wake up. I don't even wish. It's just like you could be delusional all you want because at this point, Godfrey, you're just being delusional. But what are you talking about? White nationalists, Christian like, what are you trying to say? We are a Christian country. Period. That's how it was found. What's the big deal? If you don't like it, why don't y'all just leave? Like, I don't understand. We live in a country, the land of the free, a democracy, well, the land of the fee. Um, we apparently have a democracy. You can vote things in and out. So like why keep on with this Christian nationalist shit? The country is losing control because we're turning away from God. That's obvious. It doesn't matter if it's Christian or not. Like
Throw
I don't
Asians in there. I
understand.
think you starting to smell like Erica Kirk. That's what I think. I don't even think your wife wears her wedding band anymore. That's what I'm saying. You're so hypocritical in when you talk, dude. This is what happens when you put these nerdy bozo motherfuckers in power.
So who's the right person to be in power? No human should be in power. We should all be empowered ourselves, what we're supposed to be as we the people. And just so you know, India is located in Asia. I don't know. Some people don't know shit about what they're talking about, but you're just spewing bullshit out of your mouth. Like you're not making any fucking sense here. You're like contradicting yourself like quite vibrantly right here. What the
To
fuck are you
say,
talking
"Oh, I
about?
don't apologize for being white." First of all, no one asked you to apologize for being white.
Yes, you
What we say is
have.
hold yourself accountable for your up history.
So hold themselves accountable for their fucked up ass history. What? So we're who's who? We're all souls born into a body. We don't have a choice to be white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, Chinese. We don't have that choice. We're born into the system. So you're asking white people to apologize for something that other total different people did in the past. And my little comeback to that is like, bro, right now the black race in the United States of America is fucking wild, and it's not all of them. Once again, I have black people in my family. I take accountability for my culture's actions because Puerto Ricans can't throw a party without fucking fists being flown. I completely understand, and I'm not naive to the fact. I don't have any Puerto Rican friends, and that's not by choice. It's just well, I guess it is kind of by choice. Not to say that I'm racist against my own culture, but I live in a predominantly white and black area. And where I'm at specifically, it's not a um it's not a race issue, it's a class issue because you can go into a really nice neighborhood and you see black and white folk fine, clean, that's it. That's a different class. Now, when you go into the lower class, you'll see white and black people in a dirty environment, and that's their choice to do that. So, um, it's just really interesting how you're trying to still blame white people for what whoever did in the past. It has nothing to do with the white people now. We are all American. We're all mixed cultures at this point. So are you suggesting that we start holding all of you guys accountable for every time that black people have burned down cities and just did ratchet shit that I've experienced in my life? Again, I said it before, I've been robbed all the time by black people. And that's at either gunpoint, knife point, or just taking my shit, like without obviously my consent. And then I've been done dirty by white people in suits. So yeah, it goes both ways for sure. But to try to act like you're innocent and your culture is innocent, it's grossly dishonest. And I really wish we just stopped talking about this bullshit. But I am compelled to say something because where I stand, I'm right in between the white and black. When I lived in Kentucky, I was discriminated against heavily by both black and white people. Should I start complaining about, oh, black people treated me bad, white people? No. No, you're combing the entire world with one brush, and it's just like amazing that you guys still think this way. And it's all because of education, right? You, you got the Black History Month, they just keep continuously showing you slavery, slavery, slavery. And we're gonna get more into detail in a minute about
For
that.
shit like decimation of Native Americans and
Oh
not putting
God.
them on football helmets or building little statues for them or claiming that you're a quarter Cherokee, that kind of bullshit. We're not talking about that. How about giving land back? And with black folks, let's not even, it's a whole line of atrocities from black Americans, from slavery, Reconstruction, segregation, mass incarceration, lynching of black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the treatment of black people in the hospital.
Yeah, yeah. You ever heard of Africa, bro? You know what they're doing to their own people over there and what you guys are doing to yourselves here? Chicago, the Bronx, New York. You know, what's interesting about the Bronx, just being born and raised there. I left there 2004, and I went back a few times, but that was it for me. Uh, I had enough of that bullshit. But the tribalism, it's let me let him continue because I don't. Yeah.
Hospitals, the horrible treatment of that, stealing of inventions, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Burning a black Wall Street, right?
Okay.
Putting black towns underwater, drowning them in water, building highways through black towns, redlining. We can just keep going. Police
What
brutality,
does that have
keep
to do
going.
with right now?
Anti-blackness is serious. That's what we mean, holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, you sound like my ex, the mother of my child. She's like still stuck in 10 years ago, 13 years ago, excuse me. It's like, when are you just gonna put the sword down and let's like try to get along and make things happen for our child? What you're doing, like literally what you're doing, you're just like lifting the sword. It's like, shut the fuck up with this shit already. Can we just sit down and have a conversation without someone trying to be more superior than the next? It's just like, it's sickening.
You have to apologize for being white. What cop out is that? Hold yourself accountable for your.
For what?
And you know what? There are.
Well, for what? What do you want JD Vance to be accountable for? What, like what? You like you all you that's what you guys normally say. You're like, we be specific. What exactly do you want? You want them to give the land back? Then everybody got to go. I mean, come on, dude. You're gonna go back to Africa? Europe is so if you put everybody back in their sections, who you think is gonna thrive? Come on, dude. You sound
There are a lot of
stupid.
whites that are holding
And
themselves
I like you.
accountable.
I mean
They
that with
are. They're
respect.
doing the work. They're doing the work. But JD Vance, man, no getting bozo. Well, maybe you're getting some now, but it's not your wife. That's what I'm saying. But yo, I'm just You know what? JD Vance, you know what you're doing because a lot of you saying you real slick. You really mean you want to be back to the old days where you can burn crosses and shit, where black
What are
people.
you t Okay, this is where you lose me. You sound stupid, dude. Just stick to comedy. Stay out of politics. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right, so we have this gentleman. Uh, he went like on a 8-minute spree of just introducing nonsense. In my opinion, I'm not saying. Again, I don't know this guy. It just to me, it was just like nonsense. I wanted him to get to the point. He has an 8-minute introduction to all this stuff, and I understand why. That's his audience, and he's appeasing them, so it is what it is. For me, it was just annoying. I just wanted to skip to the point. So now we're here at the point. I have not heard what he had to say yet. I skimmed through. That was it. So let's see what he has to say.
So, I'm addressing the people that do, right? And that's that. So, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let me go ahead and hit this button here and get started because I know your time is precious, ladies and gentlemen. Your time is precious. So your vice
Our time is precious, but it took you 8 minutes to get to the
president of the
point.
United States was at the Turning Point USA, um, Klan rally, right? And
A Klan rally. So there's black people there. Nicki Minaj is obviously a Klan member now. Like when they start with this shit, it's just like it's such a turnoff. And you want I would assume that he wants people to respect him. He doesn't have a tie on, so that means he earned your stripes. That's normally what that means. So when I see younger kids with their t with no tie on, it's just like you look ridiculous. You know, like you haven't earned your stripes. He looks old enough to have earned his stripes, and not only that, he's probably not wearing a tie because there's I don't know if it's like a myth or whatever, but like, it's supposed to be for like the noose and hanging people, whatever. So white people are like, it's just like it's insane how some of these people think, bro. And I'm not talking about a skin color. I'm talking about people, period. It's just like, what in the world?
He for him being the vice president of the United States and what he said over here at this rally, it gives legitimacy to the wrong people. It gives legitimacy to people who are always on some sort of watch list.
Of course, you're entitled to your opinion. That's how you took it, and I didn't take it that way. And there's millions of black people that did not take it that way. So when you're speaking, at least speak for you and your audience and your followers. Don't speak for the whole community, bro. I speak to my black brother every single fucking day, dude. And all he does is roast you motherfuckers. He's black as hell. He ain't no blacker than him and his family and his roots. And all he does is fucking clown you guys. And at this point, now I'm gonna get a little bit insulting because you're already coming off like a douchebag, bro. Like a Klan rally. Shut the fuck up, dude.
He's giving legitimacy to people who are just downright hateful, right? But yet
Who?
you want people to support you, especially if you want black people of all people to support you.
They
You know what
do.
I'm saying? So let's go on and play what he had to
That's what I'm
say,
saying. You don't
and
speak for the whole
then
culture, dude.
let's get into it. Let's go.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
That's right. You don't, and you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. When I saw like I think it was like a parody. According to them, it was real. To me, I think someone was paid. So you have the white woman just getting on her knees saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for what we did." Who's we? You didn't do anything. It's just what do you like? Insane. So no, you don't have to apologize to anyone for being white. That's the most ridiculous thing. That's like saying I apologize for being born when your parents brought you into the system. Your logic is skewed. You maybe are intelligent and literate in what you've studied, but you sound really stupid. Like, and I mean that by definition. Like, come on, dude. A Klan rally? Yo, bro.
And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college because
That's right.
we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control.
Simple as that.
All right, that's all I wanted to cover from that. Not much, right? But let's get to the main. Let's get to the meat. You know how we do it. Let's start it over because it's an interesting thing this man here is saying.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
All right, he says in the United States of America, you don't have. And he's talking to his people. He ain't talking to me. That his people don't have to apologize for being white in.
Now, when you say his people, are you including his wife and the brown kids and their skin tone? Are you talking about his people that are also in the audience and the millions of black people that voted in this administration? Yeah, we know he's not talking about you because you seem to be emotionally unstable to the point where you can't handle a few words of what he said. You're like a female. You're looking so deep into a sentence that he said, and you making a mole. I'm sorry, a mole out of a mountain, molehill out of a mountain, and it's you should be embarrassed. I gotta be honest, because like when people like myself and my black friends and family and people that have voted for this administration that are black, you sound really stupid. Like you sound really, really dumb. I bet you if you were to be neutral, you'll have like maybe 5 to 6 million subscribers, but you're limiting yourself because you're so proud to be what? You're proud to be something that you were born into. You didn't have a choice. You didn't look at God and say, I want to come down and be a black African American or an African, right? Because you have Africa behind you. Why are you not in Africa? Like, why are you not over there minding your business to your nation? If you were brought here and drug here, you know, not you, that was your ancestors. If you have ancestors that were slaves, and you probably have a legitimate reason to be upset about how your ancestors were treated. I too can have a legitimate reason to be upset of how my ancestors were treated. Anyone could sit down and complain of how someone's ancestors were treated. Everyone has a dark history. Everyone on earth, there is not one person that's subject to like, unless you're a royal bloodline since day one, everybody suffers on earth. Everybody has been slaves on earth. We're still fucking slaves on earth.
Anymore. So let's go. Why would you feel the need to apologize, sir? Why? What are you apologizing for?
That's the point. He's telling you that white people don't have to apologize because you guys keep blaming them for shit that they didn't do. So that ends if you're asking a question, I just answered it. If you want more details, you're literally being an emotional female that just gave birth 2 weeks ago.
See that's the question. See, I would ask him to say, "What? Okay, what are you apologizing for specifically? What have you done, or what stain is on your lineage where you feel you need to apologize?"
Bro, you guys are out here mass murdering your own culture, your own people, and that shit spills into inner cities and the suburbs. So what the fuck are you talking about? What happened before? If we could focus on what's happening now and fix your culture, I fix my culture, they fix their culture, so we could all get along and just assimilate, there's not a problem. So like you're I I can't take you to be a stupid person. I like some of the things you're saying is stupid, but what are you talking about? Are you pretending to just play this game for money? Because what happens is once you switch your code in situations like this, you'll lose subscribers, you lose money. It's all about the money. The reason why you keep the propaganda spreading propaganda like this to your own community, reinforcing their hate. Do you not see videos of these fucking wild ass black teenagers out there just causing hell? And it's not even their fault. And it's not their parents' fault. It's not their parents' fault because you have children raising children. You cannot expect children raising children to come out to be outstanding adults. It's people like you that keep pushing this bullshit narrative. You're fucking hurting your community more than you're helping it. You're in there dividing people for what? JD Vance is responding to what he has experienced, what he has witnessed, whether it's online, whether it's in person. You guys continuously keep blaming white people to blame the past for what it is. I mean, how far do you want to go back? Okay, 300 years. That wasn't that long ago. Do you want to go back to the Pharaoh? Do you want to go back to like how far do you want to go back? If you want to go back to if you're a Christian per se, and if or even Jewish, and you want to really go back, then go back and smack Adam for listening to Eve. Like, how far do you want to go back? Right now, we're such in a beautiful state, and like we are there are so many powerful black people in this country, intelligent black people. I had a black judge that I was dealing with a couple of weeks ago. The dude was intelligent. He was so smart. I can tell his IQ was high because he was patient with me. I was trying to fire back, but he allowed me to slip up versus a white judge. Bro, a lot of the white judges I've dealt with are pompous and arrogant. You could see it on their face. But this black judge came in there with intelligence and he was just laying it down. I'm not understanding this whole situation that you're painting. Like, what are you doing? You have all these black, successful, beautiful fucking people. What is the problem? Why are you? Why would you fix your lips to continue segregating and carrying this bullshit? You're mad because of what? All you guys have to do is chill the fuck out and stop reinforcing this shit. Imagine, like I was talking before, like my ex, the mother of my child. We haven't been together in 13 years. Okay, she's still carrying shit. So imagine her just playing a video or rerunning everything that we've done to each other in general because we're equally guilty. I've done some bad shit, man, and I ask God for forgiveness all the time. And I'm doing right by taking care of my daughter. I went to court and fought for my daughter so she's in school with me year round. Well, during the school year. And then she's with her mom most of the summer. But the thing is, it's just like, what are you gonna do? Every January, you're gonna sit there and play a video of what I did to you and read all the text messages again. This is what we're doing, dude. You're not helping anything. We're not helping anything. We can move on. All the rich billionaires and millionaires that are black in this country right now can literally go to these communities and save them from their own demise. But instead of doing that, you're focusing on hitting the lottery. You're focusing on being a rich rapper. You're focusing on being, rich sports players, like or athletes, however you want to say it. Like, dude, there's enough black people in this country that have well enough money to go in and clean these streets immediately. Go to the community and start cleaning it and talking to your brothers and sisters. Instead, you're on here bitching about JD Vance and him giving a speech to his own people. Bro, you don't even have to listen to it. You could easily change the channel. It's not going to make a difference. What makes the difference is you coming on here and bitching about what he said, further dividing our country when he's literally just pointing out objective facts. Objective facts.
What is it? Like, because you can't just tell somebody you don't have to apologize for being white anymore, but you're not discussing what you don't have to apologize for. And you have to understand the white supremacists, they speak in code word.
White supremacist, but he has an Indian wife. Dude, that's a all-star white supremacist right there, brother.
Because they're cowards. Now, Lee Atwater.
Like, you know how important bloodlines are and family genes? Like, if he was a real white supremacist, he would have never, ever even thought to stick his ding dong in that Indian woman. Dude.
It's the one that actually taught them this very cowardice thing to do. So Lee
You're
Atwater
being a
told
coward.
them years ago, you can't run around here saying the N word like you used to. You can't do that. So you have to speak in code. That's what he told them to do. So instead of talking about a black area, you just say distressed communities or urban busing or use just different words that you know who you're talking about. But and they know they're being discriminatory, but they're not using the words. And ever
Okay, go ahead.
since Lee
Continue.
Atwater said that, they've
Continue.
been doing that ever since. They don't just come out and just say what they mean. They never do. They speak very vague, but really they know exactly what they're doing. They
Who
know
cares?
exactly what they're saying.
Who cares?
So he's saying that they don't have to apologize for being white anymore. Well, let me tell you something. Being white is not an issue. No one can help their skin color.
Duh.
Okay, so let's go there. Skin, the flesh on your body, don't do anything to nobody. That's a covering for you, for your bones, your internal organs, or whatever. And the color it is don't matter.
So the color it don't matter. It don't matter. So why you have an African fucking continent behind you? Dude, this is the shit that I'm talking about. And none of that matters until it matters to you. And what do you care what other people talk about, say to you? You know why Donald Trump is so powerful right now? If in fact the most powerful man in the world at the moment? Because he crushes people with his success. He crushes people with his fucking success. He doesn't sit there and bitch about how people treated him. And he may say, he may inform people like, they say this, they say that, but he doesn't dwell on it. Like, you're so focused on what you would waste your entire life. I said this in another video. Someone will retire at the age of 60, let's say, have everything in the world and lose it all because they want to shoot at someone that called them a nigger. It's fucking insane. You know how many names I've been called in my lifetime? I just move forward with success. You're wasting all your energy and time on what other people think. What other people think is none of your business. And there is nothing stopping you from becoming a very successful Black American in the United States of America. There's nothing stopping you. You could blame systemic racism. You could blame all that shit. If there was zero Black successful people in this country, then I would sympathize with you and we could get up together and go fight for your rights. Your rights are there. Why do you keep complaining? Just move forward and do some cool shit. There's a lot of Black people out there that are inventing things, and I understand that, the previous talker was saying, yeah, everything was stolen and stuff. Okay, everything was stolen. You know what you're doing when you guys sound like this? I don't even want to listen to whatever. Actually,
In the
we'll give
grand
them
scheme of things,
2 minutes.
it really don't
Hold on,
matter. It don't
'cause I'm
matter
gonna
about what
drop
your
the
hair
bomb.
color is and all of that, your eye
I'm ready
color,
to drop
how
the
your
bomb.
nose look, your mouth look. That don't do anything. What matters at the end of the day is the culture you live in and the actions of the culture that you live in and practice. That's all that matters. I haven't met one person that took off their skin and did something to somebody. Not one. It's you and who you are. Now, JD Vance, if you're going to say they don't have to apologize for being white anymore, that's not what you should have said if you're going to say it. Well, you should have said, if you're going to stand on it, we don't have to apologize for our culture anymore. Shouldn't
I
have to
thought white
apologize for
wasn't a
our
culture.
anti-black racism.
Now you sound retarded.
We shouldn't have to
Now you're
apologize for
retarded.
our oppression. We shouldn't have to apologize for our hatred of other people.
What are you
We shouldn't have to
talking about?
apologize for the
Oh my
lying
God.
that we do constantly.
Because you guys don't lie and steal. Like, dude, what the fuck are
Shouldn't
you
have to
talking
apologize for the
about?
stealing that we're doing constantly as a collective. And stealing could come in many forms.
Yeah.
You're
Like
stealing
gunpoint?
resources. You're stealing people's culture. What word we call it? Cultural appropriation. It's just classic theft.
Bro, cultural appropriation, that's rich. You know how many, I haven't, I've met maybe, not met, seen 1 out of 10 Black people actually don't wear a weave or something that's artificial. And it's the same thing with white women, right? They all put all these globs of makeup on to make themselves look different. Everybody cultural appropriates. So this dude, I get where you're coming from, but like you're just being so disingenuous and dishonest. And let's end this share, and we're gonna end it with this. All right, when you guys start complaining about situations like this, right? If you look at the Jews, because according to them, they're their own culture, they're not white, whatever. That's fine. They they were like mass executed, bro. And they got right back up, started pushing forward. Now Jews own a lot. They have a lot of power. Okay. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that your culture from Africa is so weak that you guys weren't smart enough to develop the tools, develop weapons? Like, how do you think white people, like we were all thrown into this earth? Are you trying to say that white people are better than you or every other culture is better than you? Because from my understanding, white people don't even have the highest IQ. Japanese people are number one IQ. They've been around for thousands of years. Same thing with the Chinamen. They have a very high IQ. Americans, and Americans come in all colors. You understand? Europeans, their IQ is it's up there. And then you go to the African nations, their IQ, meager, you know? And then you go to the Australian nation. So the point that I'm trying to make, because I heard one of the Israelites saying on when they were debating Andrew Wilson, they were saying that, oh, you guys are the only ones that took ships and sailed overseas. So are you trying to say that your culture is just too stupid and dumb to develop weapons and boats? You're insulting yourself. Every single time you complain about how your culture is misleaded, when Kanye West said that you guys were slaves for 400 years, etc., and he said that you guys allowed yourselves to be slaves, I ain't gonna be nobody's slave. You put me right in, shoot me right in the fucking head. I am not moving shit. The way it's depicted at that time, and I do understand, families were getting slaughtered. If you didn't do things, they would take your wife and your kids, and it was systematic. It's still systematic, right? If I don't send my daughter to school, they'll take her away. If I don't pay taxes, they'll take my property away. So we're slaves. We're still slaves. It never ended. It's just less brutal. But brutal in a sense where it comes to your finances and your ass will be sleeping under a bridge. So when you guys and I'm talking specifically to the pro-Black Americans that are complaining about slavery that happened years ago, all you're doing is making your culture look weak because you're exploiting yourself, saying that we couldn't do anything because the white man had guns and they had all this sophisticated technology. Well, how did they get that? And why couldn't you do it? Are you admitting that you guys have a lower IQ, that you're that dumb? You're so dumb that you can't create Africa to be a nation like the United States of America, North, South, Canada, etc. You're insulting yourselves when you complain about things like this. And it's embarrassing, and you should be embarrassed for the people that are complaining. Because once again, I know plenty of Black business owners. Like, bro, there's a Black business owner that opened here in Williamsburg, Virginia. They are fucking kicking ass, bro. Kicking ass. And they live by their standards, right? When they run out of food, they close. They just close. That's it. If they run out of ingredients in food, they close. They don't stay open for greed. They're like, oh, we gotta stay open to 10 o'clock because people keep ordering. No, when they're out, they're out. That's it. And they're wildly successful. And I am proud of them to be in an area like where I'm at, where it is predominantly black and white, but it's predominantly white that owns most of the property out here. But these guys came in and said, you know what? We're gonna do it our way. And they are kicking ass. They're not sitting back complaining, crying to the government or crying to people like, oh, we were no, no. I've met so many successful black business owners, and when you in particular start crying like this, these black business owners, these black, intelligent, awesome, amazing Americans, they laugh at you. They ridicule you. You just can't hear it. It's out of your sight. And it's okay. You do what you got to do for money. I understand. But stop insulting your own culture, acting like, oh, you guys are suppressed. No one is suppressed, bro. If you want something, you fight for it. You don't throw tantrums and start burning down cities and shooting your own people because life isn't fair. And that's the show.